What's going on? Good morning. We're gonna be talking about millionaire savings plan talk. Basically, the topic. I just, every day I try to, or not so much every day. Whenever I feel compelled, which usually is about every day, I just come up with just at least one thing to talk about. One particular talking point that I wanted to discuss about. And I thought about this yesterday when I was cutting my grass, and it's called going against the grain. I wanted to come on a video. You know, my house is still going through renovation, so sometimes I don't want to come on camera, but just to get this message across, because I know some people want to see my lovely beautiful face. So for some reason or not, if you have a live video or an actual video of you, you get more views than if you do not have a video. If you just have some type of thumbnail, so women have to have something to get off on. Uh, oh man. And then another alert or whatever is that basically I have a new channel. It's going to be called After Zero. So I'm pretty kind of like happy about that. Kind of feel relieved because this is just definitely a brand. It's definitely, I have a blog, I have a Facebook page associated with this channel, but in this grand scheme of things, to just kind of move further along, this channel, is pretty much it's something that I use to help me, and then also help other people try to be, better, as far as their money and life and everything like that. And one of the things that uh, I feel compelled to do is just to basically start another channel that primarily just, I would say, is a lot more positive, a lot less, I want to say opinionated, but more just more positive, just more of maybe kind of more personal, not so much I probably the new channel, I probably won't be doing any thumbnail videos or just basically talking. It's going to be a channel that will be more video oriented, more kind of personable, but just day to day, just kind of like just more video focus. I might go fishing or something. I might go to the beach. I might, be traveling or something like that. And it's gonna be more of a personal channel. And then yeah, I'll talk about finance. I'll talk about things, but it'll be from a perspective of a person that's no longer broke. Okay, no longer, you know, financially, deficient. So that's gonna be something that um you could actually look up to. I'm gonna probably I'll talk more about it in, as pretty much as I start making videos on it. So yeah. Um Back to the topic, going against the grain. Um, you know, Pretty much sometimes you have to go against the grain. I believe. I do believe in life you need to actually go against the grain. You know, that's kind of a term that I heard from a lot of barbershops. You know, like when you go up, you know, when you stroke the clipper upwards, technically you're going against the grain. But in life, yeah, I think you do have to go against the grain sometimes, because I guess going against the grain will be anything that will be against what the norm is. So the norm, like the norm for when you purchase a house is you go get a mortgage, and or you rent a house. That's the societal norm, right? In my case, because of a combination of necessity, timing, and qualifications, you could even say, I chose to go against the grain. Um, you know, my house at the time was not that expensive, right? But I'm definitely gonna, when everything is done, I'm gonna do like a cost comparison as far as what I spent, everything like that. But yeah, I mean, my house typically, I would say, a single mother with a tax check, a tax refund check. Let's just say 3 or 4 children. Let's say about 10 grand, close to 10 grand. You could have bought this house, like, you know, cash. It wouldn't have been no situation like what I had where it was a long term contract negotiation where I had to pay like $300 a month for 24 months. You know, basically, you know, one tax check, one tax refund check, it paid the whole house off. A lot of people don't, you know, they look forward to their tax check. You know, most people are so. I know a lot of people's. Even when I remember my mother, and you know, I'm gonna get into my parents because my parents, they never owned no house. You know, they never. My only time my mom, yeah, my mom never owned a house. I mean, she basically she sold one house, and it just wiped the balance off of the mortgage so she can get another house, or you know, at the time go back to renting. But yeah, my father never owned a house. You know, uh, he didn't even get a mortgage or anything like that, as far as in the sense of when he, you know, pretty much went his separate way. He never he didn't get no house or nothing like that. But I mean, yeah, when most people, when they have any money, it's only one time a year. Usually, it's around tax refund time. That's like the time where most people have money. You know, it's even celebrated. I remember when I was a lot younger, probably in my 20s, early 30s, even mid 30s. You know, I started to notice that everybody would make jokes about, even including myself. make jokes about tax refunds, what I'm going to do with it, or preparing for it, or it's coming soon, all of these types of memes. And the reason and what that equates to is people only it's the only time they really got any money. Only time where people actually are getting any money around tax season. But here's where things um, get a little get a little serious, and it comes to like my last video, making the proper decisions, or making a decision. Most people decisions are, let's just go to basically just a mother with children, is to basically spend the money in a combination of sources, plug little small holes, or deal with things that you've been trying to deal with the whole year, or things you want to do. Would be a combination of buying the kids some clothes, buying food, right? A big grocery. Like now you can go to the grocery store and buy whatever you want. You know, it only happens a couple of times a year. You can buy whatever you want, right? So you go to the grocery store, buy a whole bunch of clothes. Uh, Groceries. You buy yourself some clothes, some shoes, right? Maybe pay a bill or two off, right? Um, Buy some stuff on Amazon. Buy some things around the house, right? On websites, and then boom, before you know it, that $8,000 from that refund is gone. Slowly spinning it down, just getting everything that you wanted in your head for the whole year, plotting and planning. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then you are renting, or you have a mortgage or whatever, right? If you have a house, and yeah, that 8 grand is gone, right? Now, what I'm saying is not necessarily relevant right now, because it's a market bubble. But how many years has it not been a bubble? I mean, let's just go back. Let's go back 3 years ago, 4 years ago. What what stopped you from taking that 8 grand and then buying a house? I'm speaking primarily to people when I'm speaking this, like, low real estate market value prices of $10,000 or less. I'm only speaking to a small, I won't even say a small demographic, but a demographic of people in the United States that live in areas where, 5 years ago, this was possible, primarily in Midwest, South, Southeast, maybe, right? Because I see real estate prices all across the United States. I'm a real estate investor, pretty much. I'm part of different groups. I see their listings. I get email listings of properties all across the United States. So I kind of know what the prices are a little bit, right? So yeah, um, you had all of these years, and this goes for men too. If you got a refund check, but most men, let's just face it, if you're single, you're not getting no big tax refund. You know, the tax code promotes primarily married couples, and also as a crutch, women with children, right? So most men by themselves don't get much of a tax refund unless you make a certain amount of money, and then you're already heavily taxed, so you're just getting partially some of your money back. So yeah, I mean, this is the reason why I'm saying all of this, right? Even married couples, you get a sizable tax, refund. But let's go back 3 to 5 years ago. You chose to continue on. You chose to use that money to, like I say, kind of basically really just take care of current present needs or current present wants that you kind of wanted in your head for a year or two or whatever, right? And I'm not here to tell you what you should do with your money. The topic is basically going against the grain. I mean, I'm not telling you what you should have done with your money. What's going on, Alonzo? I got a video for you. Let me see. It was somebody talking about insurance yesterday. That it was a video I was watching about insurance. Don't know where it is. I think it was something I was watching on. I don't know. It was either Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. They were talking about insurance. And oh yeah, I remember. Um, the guy was talking about how when you get older, he was talking about term life insurance, and when you get older, it reduces in value. But I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna try to see if I can find that. But yeah, like I say, this is not to pretty much discourage anybody as far as me telling you what you should do with your money. But like I said, I had to go against the grain because that was something that I chose to do. That was something that I chose to do. Um, and the reason why I did it is because I already saw, you know, what happened, previously. A lot of times people make decisions off of previous histories. Okay, let me tell you some of my previous histories. It's not being able to really, like, I've seen deals like this even better. Like if you thought the market was you thought $10,000 for a house was wonderful in the mid in Illinois, Indiana area, let's just say like 3 years ago. Oh, let me tell you how it was in 2009, 2010, even 2008. $10,000. How about how about 3 grand? How about three? That house was there's 10,000 like houses or whatever, 15, 10,000. That same house in 2009, 2010, or just houses in general, 3 grand, 5 grand, whole bunch of houses, 5 grand. And this was in primarily in the Chicagoland area. Another house, I seen well our this ain't my first house. My first house that I bought was $1,000. Actually it was $1, but the fees and everything basically brought it up to $1,000. So I ain't talking from somebody that this is just my first time doing this or whatever, or quote unquote going against the grain. You know, the thing is that it could be not just buying a house or anything. It could be anything that you have to do, like I said, that goes against the societal social norm, such as you having to you know ride a bike because you're trying to save money, because you're trying to save so much money. I mean, like, yeah, people gonna look at you like, oh, this dude riding a bike, but you saving that gas and you getting in shape, because you riding his bike, and then I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really talked about the broke stories. I did a few broke stories, or several of them, but I want to talk about. I want to talk about like really, but it's so embarrassing. It's like I want to talk about the brokest time I've ever been in my life. Like, I mean, I'll just give like maybe some previews. Let's just say going back to the bike. This was back when I was listening to Dave Scamsey or whatever, Dave Ramsey or whatever. Um, he was like, turn your car in, right? Well, you know, I've already talked about, Dave or whatever, right? Um, he means well to a certain regard. I will say that, but listening to this dude day in and day out, right? I go turn my car in, and then I had at the time my business was pretty much shuttering. I wasn't working. I only had like the little money I had from my business, right? So I basically put myself in a situation where I was walking, and my cousin helped me out. He gave me one of his bikes that he had, and that's what I was riding for, like, man, for like a few months, man, and it was like, okay, a bike. Okay, so the average person walks, right? The average person walks about what, like 3 or 4, 5 miles per hour. If you run, I run pretty fast. Like I'm a runner. I could pretty much like I can do long distance running. Um, you run probably about 10 miles, 10 to 15 miles per hour. I don't even want to say 15. The average speed of a runner, I'm not quite sure. Let's just say about 10 miles an hour, right? Well, a bike on average is gonna do about 15 miles an hour, like pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? And you can cover ground pretty easy with a bike. Like you can easily go, uh let's just say you can cross towns, like you go, like, let's just say, or cities or whatever. You could cross like 2 or 3 cities within like 10, 15 minutes, because a bike is just faster. It's like basically a bike is better than 2 feet strolling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you know, uh, it's just it's better than walking. It's better than even running. It's more efficient. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, I mean, at one time, yeah, that was all I had, you know. And I mean, in the case of you already having money and stuff like that and saving it, and just using a bike as your mode of transportation because you're able to. Some people not able to, but that would be an example of going against the grain. It's this one guy. He was like real fat. He's one of them big old, just like fat, just big, just huge, just big old giant deep freeze refrigerator looking dudes. You see like an NFL offensive lineman, right? Type of build, shape or whatever, right? Well, he said, I'm gonna, every time I want to eat, I'm gonna walk to the grocery store. So he will walk like 5 miles. The grocery store is about 5 miles away, and 5 miles back to his home. So that was like 10 miles. He Every time he's hungry, he just walked to the grocery store and then walk back. He did that consistently for a long time. Dude is like slim. He did the before and after video. But that would be another example of going against the grain. Basically doing something that's just basically out of all norms. Nobody is doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because he really, I mean, that was, some people are able to do other things and other people ain't able to do it. Honestly, as far as losing weight and being athletic, the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to do what you actually enjoy doing. Like, I mean, I like playing basketball, and playing basketball is very you know calorie burning, fat burning. It does a lot of that, and some people, they have to be tricked. I never forget when I used to work for UPS. I was like uh I was like 300 pounds, and by the time like a few months passed, I was like 260 pounds. They were paying me to lose weight. Like, literally, that's how I felt. Like, I mean, you losing weight when you drinking, you drink the Powerades, the Gatorades and stuff, your water. It's basically, you losing weight when you constantly going to the bathroom and you're doing number twos. You know, I know this might be a little bit too early in the morning, but that literally is how you losing weight. Basically, you pooping out more than you putting in. I mean, taking some power dumps. That's when you know. That's when you losing weight, man. When you constantly taking dumps, because see what it is it's a mental thing. It's a mind thing. A lot of people with this weight issue, it's a big business. And I'm gonna tell you another reason why I'm done this, that I'm inspired to do this talk today, because I was looking for inspiration, because I am dealing with the fact that I have a felony record, and I'm trying to get jobs and stuff like that, and it's very, very difficult. I was looking at a guy that did it. He basically has a non-for-profit consultant group. Dude makes millions of dollars. He's a multi-millionaire. He did like 14 years in prison or something like that in Boston. And I forgot the guy's name, but the guy basically, he went to Harvard, I think he said too. Uh Basically what he did was he solved a lot of complex problems, basically using what he knew, using what he learned in prison, using what he knew in the streets, because basically he was robbing dope dealers. Like, one of the things he was doing was he would go to the white suburbs and basically rob white dope dealers, because he said, yeah, if I rob people where I live, they're gonna eventually find out who I am, where I live, and they're gonna come do me in. They're gonna come put two slugs in me real quick. But if I go to the white suburbia, they ain't gonna know who I am, and they ain't gonna know what hit them, because they're so comfortable. Most people ain't gonna even know that, one, they're selling drugs, or two, that where they live or anything like that. And most people ain't gonna rob. White people tend to not rob each other like that. I mean, in a general sense. So it's pretty much, most people know you live in a white neighborhood, pretty much Mayberry every day. Ask me how I know. Ask me why I talk like the way I talk. I lived in the suburbs most of my life. One thing I'll never thank my mother enough. She moved us away from the projects. I didn't live in the projects in Chicago, but the projects was literally around the corner. So when I was about 5 years old, in order to get my little candy, the corner store was a block past the projects, and I stayed on 40th in Calumet. So basically, I had to walk like 2 blocks turn the corner to go get my little candy and stuff. And me going to go get my candy, I had to pass the projects. That's how close the projects was to me. You know what I'm saying? So my mother and my father, they moved us out of the it was called the low end, but now it's called Bronzeville. The very land that my my great grandmother's building, because she owned the building and she passed it on when she passed it on to the family. And she used to run with the number runners in Chicago, the policymakers, and basically the black mob in Chicago. And she was smart enough to get that building, use that money to get that building. It was like an 8-unit building. And yeah, I mean, one of the smartest things my mother did was to get us away from all of that riffraff, because in the 80s, like I said, it was the low end. So what the Dailies did, what Daley Sr., Mayor Daley Jr.'s father, they came up with a solution to deal with black people in Chicago, and then black people that were living in the slums. They say, okay, we're gonna just lump them all in sardine cans, which is called the projects. So while it was Bronzeville, you had all of these neighborhoods, these nice gray stone buildings and stuff like that, very similar to like in Brooklyn and stuff, right? They basically just was like, all right, they used eminent domain and annexed the land and built a whole bunch of projects, built a whole bunch of poor people on top of each other. And that's where you have a lot of this crabs in the barrel stuff, that's still going in Chicago to this day. And, basically, it turned this vibrant community. I ain't gonna say it was vibrant because I wasn't around at the time. I mean, my grandmother is kind of older, so when I talk to her, I can't really, like, she ain't at the age where she's not really coherent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, basically that area is, it was definitely, before the projects, probably better than it was. And once they got the projects in there and surrounded the area with projects, it just went downhill, but now it's bougie as hell. It's Bronzeville again. If people, I laugh at people when they talk about gentrification. They put that people's concept of gentrification is it's white people. No, gentrification basically means new money coming in. I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't white people that gentrified the low end and made it Bronzeville again. It was people like my friend's wife that was a lawyer that made about $300,000 a year that, bought a couple properties in that area. That was who gentrified Bronzeville. Her friends, that, like, one of the guys, he worked at the university. He was a professor at the University of Chicago. He bought one of those buildings. All you got to do is, look on, you could put 40th and King Drive, one of those buildings on 40th, 4,000 King Drive, Chicago, Illinois, $1 million buildings. He bought one back in the 90s for $100,000. He was smart. He was a smart ER dude, and that building is worth over $1 million now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those are the people that gentrified Bronzeville, made it from the low end back to Bronzeville. Now, like I said, the land that sat on the building where I was a little boy and moved from the city to the suburbs, that land alone is $70,000. Well, somebody bought it for $70,000 back in 2019. So the land probably is 100 grand right now. And that's just the land. You could have 10 years ago bought a building over there, actually not 10 years ago, more like 15 years ago, could have bought a complete building for about like 100 grand, if not less, a 2-flat building. So I say all of that to say, basically going against the grain, it's not easy. It's not easy going against the grain, sometimes I forget to remind myself that, my friend that is an electrician, he did what I did, but did it better. I mean, he's an electrician. He saved his money and he bought a house for 50 grand, in the suburbs. And he was living in the city in his mom's house, and he bought a nice little I think it was a brick house or a frame. It was an old white lady that pretty much aged out of her house, and he bought it for like 50 grand. A little bit before the bubble, a little bit before the real estate bubble. And of course he's a freaking electrician, so he knows how to do other stuff too. So he fixed the house up. He knows people that know, do stuff that he don't know how to do. So like basically, yeah, man, I mean, I forget myself, like, man, I mean, what I'm doing, not too many people have done or are trying to do. And I'm not gonna say it's easy. Like, it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? It is not easy. Like, because I'm not gonna lie, like having your credit good and quote unquote, I call it rich people's money, using rich people's money. I mean, it's pros and cons to it. The pro is that they ain't giving you that money for free. You tack on the interest and you do the calculations over 30 years. You're going to pay for a typical house double for it, a little bit less than double. For actually, not even just double. You're going to pay double plus a half over 30 years. So if you buy a house, 100 grand, you're gonna pay over 30 years. It'll be like the actual full payment will be like $275,000. You do the math, and that's based off of like 5% interest rate. So you're gonna pay doubly for the house. You're gonna make, like, rich people ain't giving you money for free. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with the car, it goes with credit cards, all of that. Like, the interest payments, the interest rate is going to make it to where they're gonna make some money off of their money that they're giving you. But it is nice. I mean, I go to my ex-wife's house. My ex-wife, my children, they got silver spoons. Like, I didn't grow up with no freaking silver spoon. They got a nice house. Everything's remodeled, fireplace. deep basement that's not even used. Yeah, closer to like 3 times. Like my kids, man, they absolutely spoiled. I mean, but my ex-wife got a mortgage. I ain't got no mortgage, you know. And it's like, man, I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, it's nice, man, to just walk in, to turn the key and just sit down. And you're comfortable. Everything is all remodeled. She did have to do some remodeling because the house was in distress because the people that lived there, they were trying to sell the house and get up under it because they was in some like distressful situation or something. But yeah, I mean, after she got everything fixed up, man, I mean, I'm like, damn, okay, this is nice. And it's like, yeah, man, man, I I would love to be able to, have that, but here's the thing. Here's here's the reality with that. That's hard. That ain't easy. That's based off of you having a job and an income. I was actually very close to getting myself to be able to. I remember attending the NACA meetings. I still have my NACA membership. And of course, you don't know what that is. It's I forgot what that stands for, but it's basically a non-for-profit that helps you get approved for a mortgage, get housing. I was gonna do that, and I'm gonna tell you, with my current state of situations, man, if I would have done that, if I would have got a mortgage, if I'd had a mortgage right now, I'll be trying to sell his house. Or any house that I was trying to get. I'll be trying to sell it because I ain't gonna be there to pay no goddamn mortgage. Hell no. No, not at this time. No, I would have not been able to pay no god doggone mortgage. I would have been stuck holding the whole bag. Last man is a rotten egg. That would have been me holding that rotten egg because credit is based off of you being able to pay for it back. That's why I don't really listen to people talking about goddamn it credit. I remember I was watching some dude. He's an enthusiast and shit. And he was like, "Man, you can do it," and da 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 da, blah 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 blah. And yeah, all you got to do is get business credit. I was, do you know how many people are struggling to pay back all that credit that they got right now? Can you understand, like, man, how many people are trying to contemplate filing bankruptcy right now? I mean, the business is doing okay, but it didn't make as much money as they thought, or they used the money to do whatever they was doing. Like, it's always one side. Like, okay, for example, I used to be a gambler, serious, heavily man. I used to. At one time, I thought I was a professional. I was an amateur blackjack player. I used to go in a casino, man, and I used to stay for days. I used to just be at the casino, man. I used to be at the casino so much. I used to walk around and look for chips and just look for whatever money. I done found the most I found was like, man, $100 chip. I found $100 chip a couple times. And most people so dumb. Like my one of my family members, he said he found a chip and turned it in. Boy, if you find a chip, they don't give a hell, because at the end of the day, if you use it, they probably gonna get it back. You said NACA low balls. People, my mom didn't like NACA, and other people said they ain't like NACA either. But yeah, I mean, it's like, man, I used to go to the casino so much, and I was like, damn. And in case you don't know what a casino is and what it stands for, is cash always in, never out. That's what casino stands for. Now I know some people that make some money in the casino. I know it is some actual, the best thing probably you could do. I don't advocate for gambling, but the best thing you could do is learn how to play poker. Because you play poker, you're not playing the house, you're playing other people. And you got people that, pretty good poker players. I mean, of course, you got the World Series of Poker and stuff like that. That's the best thing you do. I mean, if you're really, really smart and your mind is real sharp, you can't beat people. You can't beat the casinos playing blackjack, but they'll start banning you. If you learn how to count cards, which the most I was able to do with that was just kind of be a casual counter, meaning I was just watching the deck, but that ain't counting cards. There's actually teams and groups that teach you how to count cards. But like I said, once you actually get good at it and you start like cashing out racks, and most people, it gets addictive. You're gonna keep doing the shit. You're gonna go travel state to state. You know what casinos have? A network, right? And they have your fucking face on every, face on the network. So once they see you traveling to the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, and then you going to New Jersey, you going to, wherever, Mississippi, you going to Louisiana to gamble and all these other places, and you're making money, ban list, ban camp. They're gonna ban your ass. It's gonna be some individual come to you, probably a tall, dark, big, heavy-set man with a black suit on. He's gonna be like, come here, sir, come here, ma'am. Yep, I'm gonna need you to go to the exit, or they're gonna interview you. Have you been to the MGM Grand in Las Vegas? Yeah, how did you know that? I was there a couple weeks ago. Yeah, we have you on a national ban list for all casinos. Our network is included in that, ma'am or sir. Yes. You are listed as a card counter. Yes. So I mean, a lot of those guys, what they do is, guys and girls, they just teach other people to count cards because they ain't able to go to no casino. They got too smart. And who started this was the MIT guys in Boston, Massachusetts. They basically learn how to count cards, and they train. It was like teams and groups of people that train other people to count cards, and then they got on the ban list, and then they train, and then they just start selling, because here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for knowledge and helping people learn and stuff like, people learning and stuff like that, because that's one of the things. Like, it could be literally something stopping your life to where somebody just knows something that you don't know. Like, I mean, literally, it could just be like $1,000 or $2,000 that is holding you back from 2 million. The world is cruel like that. Like, it could literally be $2,000 holding you back from like $500,000 because you didn't take a course, because you didn't put up $2,000. What I started off with was basically, I'm telling you, like, a lot of, let's just face it, a lot of couples, a lot of single women, missed out in real estate centers where you could have done this 5 years ago. He could have bought a house. Erica Williams says this like every live stream she does. Yeah, you could have bought a house, $10,000, and then boom, had your boo-boo or your baby daddy fix it up, and then, what I'm saying, y'all could have been living in there. But no, you chose, you know, what you chose. You chose going to Miami with the girls, going to the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she says it, and when she says it, she got the views, the engagement. It stings a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? But I've been saying this shit for years. But the thing is that, yeah, back to, you know, um, kind of like knowledge and information. Yeah, I'll be the first person to tell you. I know it's certain things that if I got into that, it will be just a game changer. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. I know options a little bit, but I can actually, if I can get like a mentor to like show me options more in detail, which I already got some people that I can go to. I already know, like, once I get the opportunity and get the capital, boom, you know, it's a done deal, you know, because it's like with anything, if you can kind of get somebody to kind of show you and point, it's just a lot better. It's a lot better than you just doing it by yourself. You know, because you know, some people are self-learners and self-starters. Yeah, absolutely. But most people need, like, you know, nah, man, it's over here. You do that like this. You press this button. It's kind of like monkeys, right? Okay, one monkey, he he wanted to eat some clams by the bay, right? And then he saw another monkey, you know, smash the clams with a rock. So then he started smashing the clams with the rock, and then the other monkeys, the little baby monkeys, they were sitting back watching the other monkeys use this little rock to smash the clams and get the oyster out. So then they start doing it when they get older. Well, what if you ain't seen no monkey smash the clam shells? You don't know how to fucking do it. It's just that simple. But going back to the guy that I was talking about with the non-for-profit, and this goes into being able to commodify damn near anything you could do. And then, you know, I'm gonna talk about what another thing that I want to talk about. Basically, he took his knowledge and insight from the streets, from, basically going robbing people, robbing drug dealers and stuff like that, and then him selling drugs and running with people and crews and stuff. He got booked for 14 years. He got out and he started basically being a motivational speaker to the youth, and he got into a non-for-profit to where basically, you know, he basically, in a nutshell, he solves his complex problems that a lot of people just, a lot of groups are just not able to solve. Like, for example, like what he does is this. Like, for example, there's a problem in Chicago where it's a lot of youth that is like kind of like doing flash mobs and stuff like that. His company, his non-for-profit group, could broker with the city of Chicago. Like, he's like, hey, 1.5 million. This is what we'll do. We'll basically start some programs or stuff like that, and we'll start talking to the youth. And he's got an army of ex-offenders and other people to help him, you know, basically kind of gather these youth up, gather these people up to like point them in a different direction to where they're not doing flash mobs and shit. And that's what he does. He actually went to Ferguson to basically kind of like interrupt the crowd and shit like that. I mean, let's just face it. Like, basically, there's problems all around us. I mean, I talked about quite a few problems. You know, one is a health issue. People need to learn how to lose weight. You know, well, I mean, people need more personal trainers, right? What if personal training was more affordable, right? You know, what if you basically, you know, started something to help people lose weight, right? Because it's a big problem. Well, you know, he also gets clients from the corporate America, like, you know, JP Morgan Chase. They trying to figure out why they VPs keep going to other banks after so many years. So they brought him on to actually teach loyalty, kind of gang loyalty, to where they stay with the company more. Like, it's just little stuff like that. Like, you wouldn't think, like, for example, whatever you think that you, whatever is goes back to the monkey smashing the clam. Whatever you know how to do that a lot of people just don't know. You would think something basic somebody knows how to do already, and it's no big deal. You would, whatever you do, I don't care if it's fucking good. Ain't how many motherfucking women complaining about their man or other men that don't know how to fuck? You actually, it's a basic human shit. It's a biological imperative. You ain't gotta wait that long to find out, you know, this is where you stick it in and this is how it feels and all. Like, you can actually commodify how teaching men how to fuck. Like, I mean, literally, like, just something basic as that. You know, it could be, you know, teach it. You know, do you know this? Like, 80% of women do not know how to change a tire. About 60% of men don't know how to change a tire. A car tire. You could do a class on car tires. How long does it take to teach how to take? I could teach somebody 5 minutes how to change a car tire. What tools you need to have, what safety you need to take. 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. You know, back when I used to be a Super Saiyan simp, my ex-wife used to call me and I would come on the scene, and I would say, you know, this is AAA. I mean, yeah, she was giving me, you know, whatever me, you know, I got benefits from that shit, what friends and benefits shit, but she ain't know how to change no fucking tire. AAA takes about what, hour to 2 hours tops, you know, and it, man, that car, it was a Volkswagen. Them motherfucking tires is hard as hell to change. But yeah, I mean, yeah, people just, yeah, don't know how to change a tire. Most people don't know how to drive a stick. A fucking stick shift. You could do a fucking class on driving a stick shift. No, people don't know how to fucking drive a stick shift. I'm a old school man. I've done. I'm a man's man. Like, I mean, I'm, you know, in the 80s and shit. You didn't have, before cell phones, before the internet, 8-track days and shit. You had to know how to do a lot of shit. And then I grew up around a lot of uncles. You know, my uncle taught me how to actually. I don't even think my uncle taught me how to drive a shift. My friend, my homie from high school, I grew up with. He basically had a car that was in the alley. He wasn't doing nothing with it. It was just sitting in the alley. He was getting tickets. He gave me his car, man. That's why. See, here's the thing. People don't know it, but I mean, when I get rich, man, I remember who done me right, who helped me out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, some of my best friends, man, really, really helped me out, man. You know, he gave me a car. It was a stick shift. It was an 86 Grand Prix, and it was a stick shift. That was how I learned how to drive a stick. And it's like, most people do not know how to drive a stick shift. And then a lot of times people steal cars. A lot of these young people steal cars and they don't know how to drive no stick. So then they get caught or have to bail out the vehicle because they don't know how to drive it. So a lot of times, if you want to kind of like get the last laugh on people stealing cars and shit, get a car that's got a stick shift. Most people don't know how to drive a stick shift. and it's not that hard. And actually, when you drive a stick shift, it's very similar to driving a big rig truck. When I was driving a big rig, that's another thing. Most people don't know how to drive no tractor trailer truck. Yours truly knows how to drive a tractor trailer truck. Matter of fact, if this continue, if my situation continues on, you're gonna see me live from a fucking Bobcat somewhere inside of a fucking pickup truck. You know, because at the end of the day, man, I'm versatile. It's been times that IT was not my cup of tea, and I had to do other shit. So, you know, you might see me in a fucking big rig a month or two from now. I mean, it just is what it is. You know, one of the things about it, man, it's like, you know, I go with the grain too. You know, sometimes you got to go with the grain. You know, whatever's needed. But see, here's the thing, and this is shit on time. You know, and I've been there too. I've been this motherfucker that I'm about to shit on. A lot of you cats that don't got no records, ain't got no felony, are broke as hell. You're not even using the fact that if you don't, people don't know, if you don't have a felony record, that's the equivalent of a fucking master's degree in a lot of cases. Because, like, for example, air traffic controllers, you can start off making close to $100,000 a year. You're working for the federal government, basically. You got all the benefits packages, all of the full retirement packages, and those jobs primarily is because you can get them because you don't have a record. You don't have any problem. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, a lot of people don't do a lot of stuff, and they can do it, and they don't have, like, sometimes people just get too comfortable. And nothing more than a person that's got a criminal background that's like real fucked up or whatever, that realize what they could do with the fact that they you know, can't get certain positions and stuff like that. And it's people that actually don't have any felony record. That's fucking bums. That's like, don't do nothing. And it's like, damn, I mean, you know, it's just a lot of people that just basically do bare average. And it's like, you know, people with records be like, God damn, ready to take on the world, you know, like, damn, I mean, you know, they getting turned down for jobs making $100,000 a year. And there's people that got clean records that they choose to just do average shit, average jobs and stuff like that. And it's like, damn, I mean, you know, like I say, you could be air traffic controllers. It's a shortage of air traffic controllers. Hell, it's a shortage of fucking every goddamn thing, damn near. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that, you know, there's barriers to entry, because a lot of things. See, here's another thing that goes back to this. Some of you people don't know how to get no jobs. Like, okay, let's talk about the you know, four quadrants. You know, Robert Kiyosaki, the employee, the small business owner, the investor, the business owner, right? Some of you don't even know how to get jobs. And it goes to being marketable. You see, I'm talking to complete, so a little bit, but I'm that guy. But you see how I am talking to complete strangers on the internet? A lot of you people are just, you know, too you know, too shy. You're too shy when you need to be more open. Maybe got low self-esteem or something like that, or whatever. Like, you're not marketable. You know, some people they keep the job they have because they know they can't deal with people. Like some jobs you have to deal with people. IT is definitely one of those people, one of those jobs where you have to deal with people. You have to have soft skills and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily giving up. I'm actually trying to finish this full stack development course, and I'm taking a couple other courses. So I'm basically using this time to relearn and actually re-educate myself, because I think there is certain things I could do. Certain companies, they don't look for your background and stuff like that. So I'm not giving up. But the thing is that because I am a hustler in a sense where, and I'm gonna say this too. Another thing is I'm not a total square, but I'm a square and I got a felony. Okay. Like I don't talk. That's why I don't talk about the whole Pookie and Ray Ray shit. Like all you can walk out the house butt naked and get a felony. Like you can, in this country, to get a felony is very, very easy. You could be a total fucking nerd, square, Poindexter, bifocal wearing, pocket protector nerd, and get a felony. Literally. Like, I mean, it's not what you think. A lot of crime and felony charges and shit is associated with like poor ass motherfuckers from the hood or the ghetto. Yeah, but let me tell you, it's people that do white collar crime. It's people that do all kinds of different crime, and they get caught every fucking day. Um, you know, fortunately for me, I didn't have to do any prison time, anything like that. But yeah, I was, caught in a place where primarily it was, not favorable for my kind, and it was a very conservative sentence that was handed to me, and it was no favor that was done. And I was told by my friends to get a lawyer. I didn't get one. If I got a lawyer, would that have made the difference? I think so. Hindsight is 2020, right? But I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, and I'm just gonna warn you, like, you can fucking, like, in Illinois, if you put a sticker on your license that is from another car, because let's just say you don't want to pay the sticker fee for another year, that's a felony. That's license plate fraud. That's how easy it is to get a felony. And it looks the same, just like it. All they see is felony. People, like, these companies, they don't care. Like, whatever felony you have, like, the fact that you have it, that's it. That's all you need. Boom. No job for you. No position, no license, no this, no that. It's all, and another thing is this. This is all based off of competition. We live in a plutocracy, a plutocracy of oligarchs. Basically, wealthy elite individuals. They don't need no fucking job. Okay, they influence and create policy, laws. They run these companies that actually make have these standards for employment in HR policy. They don't need no fucking job. They don't have no fucking care. They don't need no license and all this goofy shit to get stuff done or whatever. So it doesn't matter to them. So to make it hard for your broke ass or whatever, poor ass or stupid ass or crazy ass, they'll do it, and they'll happily do it. You know what I'm saying? And they'll laugh. They get high off of you, off of your struggle. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, as long as you understand that, one, and two, if you work and hustle and you grind it out and you do whatever it takes, you're going to be all right. Because it's people that don't have felonies and they're just sitting on the couch. They're just working at Starbucks. They're just doing basic life, but basic shit when they have all the opportunities in the world and have no record. You know what I'm saying? This shit is competitive. This is competition. You know, so at the end of the day, it's about strategic moves as well. You know, when you're not getting that much in life and people are not giving you that much, you don't give much. You know, my money is very, very powerful to me. So whatever money I do make, you know, I make sure I make, you know, my next move, my best move. But yeah, you gotta be strategic about this shit. Like when, you know, basically, I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, a lot of people, I mean, they okay with like making other people rich and shit like that. I'm not. I know these people don't give a fuck about me. And I have the same sentiments, unfortunately. I have the same sentiments. I'm not an ass kisser. You know what I'm saying? You know, and at the end of the day, you know, yeah, I make moves according to how things are. Cause like, yeah, in America, I mean, I you know, being a nice guy, yeah, you could be the nice guy, but people ain't nice to you, then what you do? You know, I mean, you can still be a nice guy, but it's like, you know, yeah, I mean, I'm not supporting your businesses. You're not hiring me. I'm not supporting you. Your businesses. I get what I need, you know, but you know, yeah, I'm gonna be a fucking thrifty, frugal motherfucker because you motherfuckers are you know not um doing the right thing and you know making it hard for me and other people like me. Yeah, it's fuck you. It's fuck you too. You know, and that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. You know, because at the end of the day, man, I think you need to have that ruthless mentality because it's like at the end of the day, yeah, you know a lot of these companies, you know, these are run off of people and they don't give a fuck about you. They don't like you. You know, even if you don't have a record, to be honest, they're not hiring you because they don't want you around. You know, but they want to listen to your music. They want to be cool and hip. They wanna listen to your struggle and shit like that. But they don't want to hire you to come into their boardroom, you know what I'm saying, half the time and shit like that, all kind of goofy ass shit. And that's how you gotta have. I think black people should have, you know, Asians have this, everybody has this. Fuck you mentality. You know, and at the end of the day, I think having that fuck you mentality is helpful. And that's you know, might be going against the grain a little bit. But anyway, um another thing that I have on my mind is that in the spirit of Kevin Samuels, a lot of times, okay, people say he died broke. No, not at all. I mean, one, like I say, you talk about whether it be the donations he was getting from his channel, the channel support, the video monetization. He got bookings. You know, I don't know what his booking fee was, but you know, I'm sure it wasn't cheap. And that's the stuff that you know about, right? Or the obvious things. Probably my thoughts as far as BET giving him the memorial is because they was probably offering him a show. He was probably working behind the scenes, getting offered a show deal. The dude was killing. The dude was killing fucking average TV shows at the time that were on fucking cable networks with just a YouTube live stream and a YouTube channel. You think he wasn't TV executives working out deals with him behind the scenes or reaching out to him? He on a damn video of one of the top rappers in the United States. You think a fucking uh, household name and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's one aspect of it. Another aspect, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. Not to mention the Patreon and stuff like that he had, right? One of the things that he did do, which a lot of YouTubers do, or life coaching, self-improvement guys do, I don't do, and it's fine. Whatever you think of me, I mean, whatever, it's fine. It's okay. I'm gonna be all right. I'll take my own advice. Trust you. I will take my videos or video diaries. I literally go back and watch them, and I get reminded because we live life. We bust nuts. Every time you bust a nut, you kind of get dumber. You kind of like, it's like almost like you busted out brain cells when you bust a nut. Like you go to sleep. Women real clever. Like if you get with a real femme fatale, real good one or whatever, she'll try to enhance the fact that become more forgetful. Whip it on you, give you that double twist action, and then put you to sleep, right? And then you wake up like, God damn, I forgot what the hell was going on. So imagine weeks in, weeks out, months in, you forget stuff, right? You forget certain things that you were gonna do, or mindsets and motivations. That's why daily meditation is very good and effective. And that's also, ladies and gentlemen, why monks don't have sex. Yeah. You wonder why they don't have sex? Not monks like MGTOW. I'm talking about monks in like fucking, Asia. They go, well, some of them sneak and go have sex. But one of the reasons of not having sex is your mind power gets stronger, your body gets stronger, because that life force is maintained and held. So yeah, get forgetful and shit, right? Literally keep getting older, you get dementia. And that's because you busted so many goddamn nuts. You was having a good time with your wife or your mistress or all the other women you was with, all that time you was in college and band camp and being on the football team, getting all the ladies, basketball team. You get older and you steady busting those nuts. Sex. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? All those orgies and all that other shit, the nights in Miami nights and Dominican Republican nights, Colombian nights, Brazilian nights. And then you run out of nuts to bust eventually. Everyone watching, young men, when you get older, you're gonna eventually run out of nuts to bust. Yep, that's the sad truth, ladies and gentlemen. Some people run out sooner than others. I mean, there's certain things you can do, But see, here's the thing. And it goes back to consulting. This big old brain that I have encased in a do-rag, I know some shit that you don't know. Now, it's just like that, man. I mean, I just, if you don't listen to me, like Alonzo, people don't listen to Alonzo either. You don't listen to us. No biggie. I just take my own advice. The Porsche's gonna get bought. It's already it's my goals is gonna get accomplished. I'm a nigga, never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. My goals are gonna get accomplished, buddy, regardless. I don't need you to do nothing. I don't need you to care. I don't give a damn. I ain't even begging for nothing. Don't Who cares? Because at the end of the day, I am still trying to help people. But like I say, this is my own personal video diary as well. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that when it comes to the thing that Kevin Samuels used to do was used to do consulting. You know, I've heard some negative videos on that, some things that allegedly he did as far as or he didn't deliver. But he used to do consulting for men, and then of course more women when he started kind of gearing things toward women, right? Well, it kind of goes to what my thought process for the last 2 days is that I mean, of course, he's no longer here, so I mean that whoever he was consulting, they or future consultants, he weren't able to help them out. And a lot of women have like given up on that to a certain degree, or maybe they do still do it, but do it behind the scenes. Women, I think, do need men to consult them. I literally I thought about this for the last 48 hours. I really, really seriously thought about it. And then, I'm just like, damn, it just kind of hit me. Men know, like for example, myself, I'm very much a stylish guy when I want to be. Very, very stylish. I know how to dress, right? The thing is that when it comes to women, I'm also a higher tier man. I've always hanged around higher tier men my whole life. So whatever like women want per se, as far as men, I'm around those guys. Always around the men that the women want. I've always, when I was in college, when I was in high school, you know what I'm saying? I always been around those guys. And at the same time, I excelled in certain areas or whatever like that. And the thing is that when I thought about this, it's like, yeah, I mean, the women that are really wanting to actually pay attention and try to, kind of be, more less of a strag, I would say. Yeah, they need. It's going to be certain women that are going to listen more to men than women. Of course, I think most women, they are more comfortable listening to women give them advice or whatever about how to change their life and be more feminine and stuff like that. But I said like the last 48 hours, I was like, damn. And this goes into the whole average at best conversation that was on Kevin's live stream a year and a half ago, that made World Star and made Headstorm, right? He was doing a show about something else, and she called in and she wanted his advice or how she fit in as far as dating and mating a quote unquote high value man. And he basically, in the nicest way he could possibly can, tell this woman, you'll be lucky to get an average motherfucker at best. Matter of fact, he'll be doing you a favor. And call back when when I'm doing that topic. Is basically what he said. Or you got money. She allegedly, I think she was capping. She said she made $100,000 a year as a dog groomer. Some people lie because they already know what the requirements are, to look impressive or whatever. Which is not even impressive. Men are not really impressed by women's money. Only men that are impressed by women's money to a certain degree are men that are actually trying to get money from women. A gigolo, who else? A pimp. I mean, anybody that's trying, a panda bear. I mean, those are the only people that are trying to get money from women. So it's like, or a homosexual, like anybody give a fuck about women's money. They don't make us come. So the thing is that, her even trying to lie about it or not is ridiculous, in my opinion. But I guess it made her look better on a live stream with 5,000-10,000 people watching. But he said, consult me, reach out to me, and I'll if you got all this money, if you make so much money, reach out to me and I'll help you behind the scenes. I'm sure he was helping a lot of women behind the scenes. Right. And the thing is that a lot of the women didn't want to do that because, see, here's another thing. Women are real cheap, and also real cheap with men too, because a lot of women they have a self-hatred. It's a very concentrated self-hatred for men in America. Women have a very deep concentrated self-hatred for men in America. So a lot of times, this is what I found out being in the service business. I used to go to people's, I still do it. I go to people's houses and repair their computer, but I do a little bit different things now. Like I do home services, like handyman services, cleaning, stuff like that. So like, yeah, in a service business, I find a lot of times women, primarily black women, right? They have a you can sense the energy, that energy, that misandrous energy that they have, and they don't want to come up off of that money, because of you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They'll probably kiss another woman's ass, but you coming in the room as a black man, they ain't trying to come up off of that money. They look at, a lot of times, black men should do everything for them free, to be some type of like slave to them or serf, right? A lot of times, and it's like, yeah, even seeing value with black men is a problem. Now, here's the deal. I will say black men also have this problem. They don't see value in other men. Other black men have a self-hatred complex, as well. PTSD, I call it. Black men and black women in America have a PTSD complex, post-traumatic slavery disorder. If you want to learn more about it, read the Willie Lynch letter. Slavery was only 4 to 5 generations ago. So most people's 3rd or 4th or 5th great grandparent was a slave. That's how close it was. And then, to be honest, it's still racial issues in this country, and it was really, really bad 50 to 40 years ago. Okay, 1960s is when shit, like after 1960 is when white folks started to digress somewhat. So that was not that long ago. Okay, that was only 20 years before I was born. So in the 80s, I used to get called nigger so much. It was like, damn, go back to Africa. I remember I was riding my bike in Minnesota. Even in Minnesota, I used to go back, tell my aunt, damn, what's wrong? Why all these white folks calling me nigga? God damn. They call me nigga more than in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I travel, go to see my family in Minnesota when they was living there. I'm just riding my bike. I was about, I don't know, 12 years old. And I'm getting caught, I'm hearing nigga. I'm just riding my goddamn bike. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't doing nothing. But yeah, I mean, this was 1992, 91 or something like that in Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul area of Minnesota. So, I mean, the thing is, I say all that to say that, yeah, I mean, these afflictions are still in your subconscious. They're being passed down. These mindsets, these mentalities, self-hatred mentalities being passed down. And yeah, in business, all you gotta do is open a business. Put your balls up, put your money up, go into business. Or not even go, just go to the flea market. Go get a table, go to the flea market and go try to sell to black people. And you'll see that self-hatred all day. You'll see the self-hatred. The whole, white man ice is cold or shit too, all that. Yeah. It's really, really, really interesting experience. I don't want to see you do better than me. Crabs in a bucket. I don't want you getting out the bucket. I want you to stay with me. I watch Ron Wills a lot. And basically he said he was selling books when he first started selling books, I think in the like late 90s or something. He said he was doing a book signing and an older black man came up to his booth and was basically trying to cuss him out and entice him to fight him. He wanted to entice him to actually get into fisticuffs because basically he wanted Rom to basically spoil his book signing. He hated the fact that this black man, I don't know if he knew him or whatever. He said he don't know this guy at all. But he didn't want to see this black man actually having a book signing so much that he wanted to compromise it by starting a fight with him at a book signing. See, that's why this is one of the reasons. Okay, one of the things about Gary, Indiana, they have a lot of nightlife. They have some of the most they got some clubs in Gary. It's like it's a lot of hoochies, man. A whole bunch of man. It's a whole bunch of women, man, be at all these clubs. I pass right by them because where the hoochies is where the dudes that's shooting at. That's wherever the hoochies are, they shooting. So I just be like, man, hell no. I mean, it's tempting, but no. And then I don't like strags. I only like prime women. And most prime women don't go to nightclubs in F grade neighborhoods. I'm just saying, it just is what it is. Most of them don't, because yeah, I mean, nightclubs, it's a good way to meet somebody to to get some sex. Yes, it is. It is. But see, here's the thing when it comes to sex or getting involved into a woman, going inside a woman, right? That I'm just not into that much like that, right? Anymore. You going inside, and it goes back to my video about she ain't yours. You going inside a woman that is somebody else going inside. She might have 3 or 4 guys she dealing with. Might even be 6 or 7. And you you number 8. She going to you met her at the club that night. She does that once a week, or if not, once a day. Go to different bars and lounges and nightclubs. You just the guy she met that day, that night, and you were just one of them. And that would be like if a woman reached out to me, I would say you need to cease and desist those activities as soon as possible. Because see, here's the thing: when you go into nightclubs and bars and you dressing how you dressing to go, like, dressing sexually provocative and shit like that, and getting all this attention and stuff like that, you're getting inundated with men to where, see, this is what happens a lot of times to extreme, right? Because a lot of these women, they'll tell you, typically what women will tell you is that they are dating. What dating means is fucking. When somebody say they dating, they fucking. It's just a PC way of saying I'm not married, therefore I am single, but I don't have a boyfriend, but I am dating. That's just some shit you say, like if you go on a job interview. You don't say you got fired, you say you got laid off. You know what I'm saying? Like, wordplay. But yeah, dating is fucking. Yeah, I'm dating. I'm just dating, or I'm just having fun. When a woman says she having fun, you better run. You know what fun mean? That means, goddamn it, she is having the time of her life. She getting some of the best dick that she is getting in her life. She is having so much fun and so much cum at the same time. That's what that means. I'm just having fun, having a good time out here, just enjoying my life. That's what that means. I'm no bullshit. Ask somebody else. Because to a certain degree, there is women that would probably will talk more to men than they will talk to women. And to be honest, I think women should talk to men more, and this is why. This is why I think women should talk to men more when it comes to kind of like life improvement, life coaching type of thing, even femininity. This is the fun. I don't give a this. I don't care how this sounds. Even femininity training. Hear me out. Hear me out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hear me out. A man, a man knows a woman that's feminine or not. We can hear it. We can see it. We might not necessarily be able to like tell you how to talk and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But we know a feminine woman. we know what a feminine woman looks like. Not all men. I'm not speaking on all men. Like, I'll just speak from my own point of view. I know a feminine woman. I know what a feminine woman does. I know what a prime woman does. I know how hard it is to be a prime woman, as far as a feminine prime woman. It's very difficult. A lot of these things are because a woman has so much chaos in her life. A lot of times control is about more controlling the chaos than anything when it comes to like being feminine and all that other stuff, right? A lot of times what happens is women from the age of 18, first, before even the age of 18, they were raised in a household with their mother. Their mother was not married. That's one strike. So they don't even know what being married is. They don't know what a wife is. They didn't even see any wife. Their mom was not a wife. Their mom was just a single mom. She either had men around or she didn't have men around, and she would just go, she would have boyfriends periodically. She would change boyfriends. She would see her mom crying because she broke up with her boyfriend or something like that, or another boyfriend left her. Throughout her life, she would see her mom have different guys, rotation of different guys. She would go out, hang with her friends, go around the other women in her, family, the aunties, grandma, and depending on the family, one or more of these women were not married. They were a mix of single mothers, some being married, some not being married, and this is what she knows. The average woman, average black woman, this is what she sees in America. She sees most of her friends being a product of a single mom, her herself growing up, her subconscious every day seeing her mother is her mother is her example, her only example in most cases of what a woman should be. She tells her what to do, how to wipe her ass, how to wipe her pussy, how to put on a tampon or whatever the fuck tampon when she gets of age, how to walk, close her legs, not close her legs. All of this shit is taught from her mother. So being a wife, her mother wasn't a wife. She don't know how to be a wife. She's submissive. She see her mom be submissive. So her subconscious is already pretty much ingrained in her from a child to an adult, a preteen. She grows up to be a image of her mother, either a evolving image of her mother or a de-evolving image of her mother. What do I mean by de-evolving or evolving? Basically, a better version of her mother or a worse version of her mother. So when it comes to adulthood, pussy is hot as a firecracker, hot as an M80 before July 4th. She blows up, gets a baby, it's still teenage pregnancy going on as well. Might have had a baby before high school, abortion or two, after high school or even during high school. Has now, by the time she's 25, she already has like one or two children and a baby daddy that she does not get along with or is trying to get along with, or is, going in and out of relationships with that baby daddy. This is what's typical now in the Black America. This is what's typical, right? And if they look anything above a 5 or whatever, it doesn't it does matter. But the thing is depending on how good they look or not, they have some type of men wanting to, you know, get their number or get with them on a daily basis, right? I was in Walmart the other day because my phone broke. I had to get another phone and I got hit upside the head, right? Hard, hard, right? Oh man, I got hit upside the head. And I was walking out of the store and I looked to the left and it was like this obese black woman that looked good. I mean, I like big women, had some big ass titties, probably size D titties, double D titties, man. And they were real. They were real. In my opinion, I think big old fat donkey ass with some jean shorts on, and I couldn't help but to look. But then when I got to walking, I thought about it. I looked at her, and I'm like, this woman, she's dressing like that because she likes the attention, and she's getting attention and the diction. This is a fact. And as far as her facial representation, five, five, definitely five, average, maybe four, depending on, maybe she was a California four. This is an Indiana five, I guess. I don't know. Maybe an Indiana four. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, she, men actually enjoy that. Big old fat sloppy ass. Like, I mean, yeah, it's enjoyable. I mean, I definitely it's enjoyable. It's very, very enjoyable, right? But at the end of the, let's just say, decade, 10 years later, 10 years later, in my SpongeBob voice, all right? You know, that that obese black woman that you enjoy, her time and company, and you dealt with her shit, right? Literally and figuratively. I ain't nothing but a hedonist. I haven't really said that, but yes, I am. I'm very much a closet hedonist. But yeah, yeah, you've gotten with her now. You probably have one or two babies, three, and she's blown up. She is blown up. She said, looking like a mammy. I don't know who's looking like a mammy. But yeah, I mean, this is typically what happens. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, you know, she was big booty rocking. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to hop on, you know, and enjoy that, right? But a lot of times guys, they love it so much, they just fall up inside that shit, man. And then next thing you know, that's my baby mama. She on child support. What, I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how that goes, man. And then this woman actually, she has to, deal with the children. She has to deal with the fact, if y'all broke up, she's got to get, her money. You know what I'm saying? And she has to deal with the fact that, yes, she has to get back on the market. But now, she was 22. She had, she was still obese, but she, had a really, she was like slim fat. She was slim fat, meaning she wasn't too fat, but she was fat, but she had a fat ass and some big titties. But 10 years later, she's big fat, super fat. and it's like the common term is SBBW, sexy, big, beautiful woman. All you got to do is type that into the search bar, Google. You'll see what that is, and that's pretty big. But I mean, it's a very few slim minority of men that actually is into that. But those guys are probably so weird, so weird that the women that probably ain't even into them. And the only other option for men that are into women like that are prisoners that are actually in prison. So you have the whole fresh out of lockup type of culture that's going on in America, because you actually have women like this they know that's their only option is to actually go visit prisons of inmates that they don't know, that ain't in their family. I mean, it is crazy, you know. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But the other option is very, very hard, is to get some type of life coach to basically get on some type of diet plan, exercise plan to lose massive amounts of weight. And then you might be marketable to a certain extent to maybe a little bit more men, right? So, but that's very, very difficult, because losing weight is very mental. It's a mental thing. It's more of a mental thing than a physical thing. It's also a physical thing, but it's also a mental thing. It's literally you're running away from pain. It's weakness. I know a lot of like big heavy set women are real aggressive and then like act like bears and shit. But at the end of the day, all you gotta do is run. They can't catch you. Shit. They can't catch you. They gonna be out of breath. I thought about it. I was thinking about all this alpha and beta stuff. I'm an alpha just off what I eat. I don't even gotta fight you. Meet me at the restaurant. Let's go to a kitchen somewhere, and basically I make you my homemade jalapeno. Salsa with ghost peppers, with habaneros, and a mix of cayenne peppers in salsa, in my salsa mix. And you get a glass of water, I get a glass of water, and we sit down and we eat nachos with salsa. May the best man win. And then what happened is there ain't nobody gonna show up, and that's just to eat. And you can see how much just off of what I can intake alone puts me on a level where ain't too many people can go. Just off of just off of eating hot food. Cause I grew up, my father's from Ghana. He used to eat a lot of like hot peppers and stuff like that. So when I was in the womb of my mother, I got all of that food and stuff, the capsaicin, and then eating in the household, I got used to eating it, and with the water right beside me, or Coke. It's either Coke or water. So I basically got used to eating hot food, really hot. Like your spicy, the typical person's spicy ain't even nothing to me. It's like ketchup. My spicy is your super hot. I ain't gotta fight you. Let's go eat some salsa. I made some salsa the other day. I got some habaneros and I made some salsa. 3 alarm fire. Like, I mean, Elizabeth, I'm about to join you, baby. Like, I mean, hot. But the thing is that yes, it's very, very difficult to lose weight. You can go talk to somebody. It's gonna still be hard, but at least you got somebody that's gonna hold you accountable. You got somebody that's gonna, pretty much hold you accountable. Somebody is gonna tell you what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I can help you. That's something I can help you with. One of the many things that I can help you with. I can help you lose weight. Yep, sure can. It ain't gonna be easy. That's very, very much something that I can help you with. But yeah, I mean, a lot of times, you know, even women that don't have a lot of weight, they look good, and whatnot, and they just don't know. They just clueless. And then you circle in the cluelessness in with the narcissism, right? Because the narcissism is basically unchecked narcissism is I stay in my bubble, and anybody that challenges my foolishness, I'll start an argument with them or I'll clap back at them, right? But I'll still be foolish. So you have women that basically are um, bubbling narcissists that'll stay in their own bubble, and they know they're fucked up. These same people cry. They get really, really depressed because they have moments where basically they know they're full of shit, and they're vulnerable as hell, but basically they don't want to let you know how vulnerable they are. They'll just hide it with narcissism, as if to say, yes, I'm right, you're wrong, when they know they did wrong. But they'll cover the wrong by basically narcissism, to say, yes, it's my way. you know you know I know what I'm talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. And that's why people that are highly successful, have all of the boxes checked, they don't like these types of people, because their actual lifestyle and the way they live and the things that they have accomplished already proves that they know more than you do, because you don't have what they have. You haven't accomplished what they have. And a lot of times even a narcissist will even come at someone that have accomplished a lot, and try to diminish their accomplishments through basically ad hominem attacks. Yeah, That's what they do. You see this online a lot. Yep. You see it online a lot. So when they get out of that shell, you know, they get out of that shell, and then a lot of times people like that, they kind of need more help. They need therapy. They need somebody to basically, in a nice way, tell them that they're full of shit, and give them steps to sift through the shit that they're in. You know, and then even those people get frustrated. You know, you got basically somebody that a woman that was really good at that was Ayana Van Zant. She's just like, man, I'm tired of this shit. These people are crazy. This is ridiculous. She said, you gotta, I mean, I'm not sure if she was a professional psychologist, but she was, I'm not sure what her credentials were because I don't remember, but you don't necessarily have to be a social worker or psychologist to be a therapist. You don't have to. You don't. You don't have to. You even ministers, people that are from like the clergy, from that run churches and stuff, deacons and stuff. They have. They can give therapy. A lot of times, those are the people that people actually go to. To get help. That's actually what your modern religion, or even historically what religion is. You go to the minister or pastor or um the clergy of like the church, and you go tell them your confessions, and they offer you some type of advice to help you. When was your last confession? Type of thing. So I mean, yeah, it's in a lot of cases, man, people, man, going back to being 18 or even being before 18, everybody's trying to survive. It's people that done had to do some crazy shit to survive. People got involved with some crazy shit to survive. A lot of women, they do like the D boys, the thugs and stuff like that. They had to involve, they had to do some crazy ass shit to survive. They had to cut up the drugs for their boyfriend. They had to set niggas up for their boyfriend, their baby daddy. They saw their baby daddy get shot. You know, they you know what I'm saying? Like it's some crazy shit some of these women have just gotten themselves into. And I never forget like these stories. I used to hear these stories because I remember one time I was talking to this chick that was in a Facebook group like years ago, like 5-6 years ago. And she just was telling me all of these stories about how broke she was, and her first baby daddy and other boyfriend. She's talking about she was in Mississippi and some dude pulled a gun out. Her boyfriend pulled a gun out on her at the time, was about to shoot her because she was about to break up with him or some shit. Like all these like crazy ass stories. Because a lot of times, women just do what the fuck. They go with life. They don't they just go with the next man up like anybody. Like and a lot of times a career criminal per se, thug, quote unquote, right? Part of their life is they do whatever they do to get, you know, whatever they need to get accomplished. If that's killing somebody, if that's, you know what I'm saying, beating somebody up real bad, that's what they do. What makes you think as a woman that they ain't gonna do that shit to your ass? What? Why would you think you're exempt from that type of punishment? And then when women do get that actual side of that punishment and that judgment from that side, from that thug, then it becomes real. Then they don't want thugs no more. Then they don't want thugs anymore. I ain't gonna say no names, but I know somebody, that they don't want thugs no more either. I don't know what the hell they want, but this person basically um is talking shit out, running your mouth. Yep, 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 yep. Narcissism, saying anything. One thing about thugs don't care about necessarily the law or criminal, a real serious one. They don't care about no laws. They don't care about, what I'm saying, it's more like corporal, it's just the being punishing a woman is just just is what it is. They're not worried about police being called. So yeah, she was running off at the lip, picked her up, threw her through a glass, scratches all on her and shit. Yep. That's that no, that's that thug love. Well, that's the other side of that thug love. Yeah, then you don't want to be a thug anymore, but you still got them same strag ways. Running off at the mouth, got every response for everything that's said to you. I mean, that can be changed. I think everybody can be changed. I mean, but it's very difficult because a lot of times that's taught from your early age when you seen your mother. You're exhibiting the same behaviors that you see your mother do, and you grow up and you do the same things. It goes back to the kittens and their mother being basically ran over by a car. The mom kitten got either ran over by a car or gotten attacked by a wolf or whatever. Whatever happened, the mother of cat basically was injured to the point where her spine was broke. The kittens were normal. She was pregnant at the time. The kittens had a normal birth. They were not not damaged or anything. They saw how their mother was walking, basically just crawling on the ground like a snake, like a worm, and basically they started to walk like that. They started to mimic that same behavior because they in their mind, this is how I'm supposed to be a kitten. I'm supposed to just follow my mother. She's crawling around like a snake. This is what I'm supposed to do. It is very, very difficult to reverse that. It is very, very difficult. I don't want to say impossible, but it's very, very difficult to basically get into that subconscious and correct that that type of training or um, basically behavior that you learn from your mother. You know, very very difficult. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that's needed. I believe that is something that is definitely uh, something that men can do. Men can help women be more marketable for men because I mean basically we know we know men know what the best women are. We know men know what the best women are. We already know. Some know more than others, but we already know who the best women are. Most of the best women, they already have a wedding ring on. They already have a championship ring. I call it a championship ring. They already got it on. You see them at the gas station, and you could feel their energy. You could even feel their energy. It's a nice woman. She looks good. She's well manicured, well kept. She's already taken. And not in the sense that she's got, she's a what I call monogamous pretender and she's got all these different men. No, she's married. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we already know pretty much the makeup of a woman that is high tier, you know. Yeah. I mean, you might not really think about it like that from a woman's perspective. You might not think of it like that. Like, yeah, men know who are the best women. We learn that we learn at an early age because primarily, like I'll just tell I guess I'll tell a college story or whatever when this came to head for me. So I had a chick I was with in college. I was like 18, and I think she was like Puerto Rican or something like, and she looked very very good. She looked very very good, right? And when I brought her around my roommates, 'cause I was living in an apartment, like a 4 bedroom apartment, and we shared like common spaces such as like kitchen, laundry room, the living room, and they saw this chick that I was with, and they was like, "Damn, you know, she was a baddie, right?" But then word got around that she was the thought. And it was like, well, thoughts are not marketable for higher tier. I've always been around higher tier men. It's an intentional move. Like I don't I don't like I don't really, you know, force myself upon lower tier men. If it just, I just don't do that. Like I always been around the jocks, usually, athletes, you know what I'm saying? Because I always like play into basketball and sports and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's like thoughts are not marketable. Because if your woman could be easily able to be slept with, what's the purpose? I mean, if your woman is for the streets and you're aspiring to be the best man you could possibly be, and your woman is for the streets, or your woman is a thought, that makes you look bad. That's not marketable. So when you like, discover, when I found out like what she was really, who she was like sleeping with, random dudes and shit that I didn't know about. I was only with her for like a week or two. I had to let her go. No matter how, like, most guys, they would probably keep a chick like that around because she looked so good. I mean, she was like an 8 or 9. I had to let her go because if if I'm claiming a woman that is basically, like, quote unquote, for the streets, and anybody can have her, that makes me look bad. I'm going around niggas joking and high fiving and shit. Uh, Damn, man, I fucked the shit out that bitch last week, and you hearing all you walking, you like, damn, that shit is embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, some guys might be not easily able to get certain women, and they'll keep women knowing that they ain't worth a shit, or knowing that they, got this problem and that problem, and because that's the best in their mind, that's the best who they can get. you know but that's why that's the case. And it's like, to a certain extent, by the time you get past a certain age, and then especially now, because there's a certain level of sexual revolution, or you could even say culture, that by the time, you could just say, by 30 to 35, the women that you are trying to actually court, most of them probably, you could just say, in 2022, a lot of women have probably already had OnlyFans, or you know what I'm saying, because of the market, because of how the economy has been in the last 10 years, and the stagnant wages in most common jobs, and also the rise of debts, and the cost of living, and just the easy the availability and the ease of use of it, to basically, with a cell phone, be able to start an account with OnlyFans. And because of, the basically the simp economy, as I call it, because there's so many simps, there's a lot of men that are still um, sexually thirsty, so their thirst is so strong that, I mean, they're willing to, pay $5 a month, $15 a month, $25 a month, to basically look at a woman get Her puss shot in, would come, do all kind of different things, suck, fuck, for a buck. I mean, it just is what it deep. You know, by you 30, 35 years old, you looking for a woman that in America that basically is that same age. They got a lot of shit that they gonna be hiding in their closet that they ain't gonna tell you at this age. They have probably had an OnlyFans or have an OnlyFans moment. They've done porn, homemade porn. They've gotten trains ran on them. They've been with other women in college, post college, times of their life. They've been fucking other women. They've been to orgies. They've had 3 or 4 boyfriends at the same time. They had a hot girl summer. I mean, this is what they not gonna ever probably tell you. Like, what is the song? This is a part of me that you never ever gonna take away from me. They not gonna tell you all this shit unless, like, it's very few women that will just straight up, they don't care. They just like kind of just dark, because you got women that's just dark peel too. You got black peel women too. Shout out to the Crimson Cure. They'll just tell you, yeah, I did this, and this, and I fucked him, and him. I mean, I to be honest, I just find it like, it's like, why are you lying to me? I don't care. I don't like I ain't trying to marry you anyway. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I'm gonna need that STD panel. Yes. I'm gonna need that full STD panel. But yeah, that's just man, just that's standard, right? Like, I mean, you got, very few women that have quote unquote low mileage. They never did any of that. In America, and don't fuck a woman that said, okay, I haven't talked about this, but you got the quote unquote Dubai Chronicles. The Dubai Chronicles. You thought ghetto gaggers was fucked up? How about Arab gaggers? You ain't seen Arab gaggers. Oh man. Man, them chicks, man, they going to Dubai and they not telling you how they was able to buy what they was able to buy in Dubai. How they was able to buy in Dubai. Not telling you. And what another thing these women not gonna tell you is, and this goes into straight, not just porn, is another thing I didn't miss that I didn't tell you. They not gonna tell you that their Instagram account is a quasi escort role. $1,500 fly out fee. They not gonna they not gonna tell you that, God damn it, about the $1,500 fly out fee. You thinking you got a wholesome good girl that is just so monogamous. She's doing Sierra's prayer and this prayer. She got a whole $1,500 flyout fee. And that's just the flyout fee. When she touched the ground, she needs another $1,500 for food and, you know, hotel accommodations of her own and all this other shit. And what these guys are not telling you is they paying this shit. They pay it like, oh yeah, I get dimes, I get nickels, I get eights, but they paying flyout fees. They paying what I paid, because I paid a down payment of this house was $3,000. They paying what I paid for my down payment to abroad for a day, no, a weekend, tryst with a dime. Well, no, not a dime, but with a chick that's either I call them 7-ups, 7 and up, 7, 8, 9, whatever. They talking to Instagram chicks with flyout fees, with secret flyout fees, man. And that's just the lower tier ones. I mean, I ain't hating the game, man. I ain't hating the player or the game. But I'm just telling you, this shit is going down. They going to, you know, different countries, but they not telling you that it's a rich man or not even a rich man, just an average guy in that country that they going to that paid that flyout fee, that fully funded that travel to that other country that they're in. I don't hate the player or the game. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to let you know.